suggestions about cooking and gardening for the show, plus recipes that you would like me to try. Join me for Mary's Kitchen and Garden, only on KnoxIvy.com. We are going to make some guacamole, which my family loves. Again, very easy to make. Got an avocado, a lime, a tomato, and fresh cilantro. I could have actually put the cilantro in the chicken enchilada, which I've done before, but I didn't have enough because cilantro grows in the spring. And once it gets hot like this, it doesn't grow very well. It gets too hot for it. So I decided I would put it in the guacamole. As far as with an avocado, you just take your thumb around the edge just to open it up. And what you want to know, as far as when you're touching them and feeling if they're right, you just want them to be like thumb tender, as far as just a little bit indentation. If they are real soft, that probably means that they're getting too ripe. And what happens is they get these brown spots on them, and you have to cut those off. So as you can see, there is no brown spots on the avocado, which is really nice. It's taken me a long time to figure that out. I thought that they had to be riper. So what you want to do is just take a fork and gently mash. Put that in your bowl. This is a very easy dish and very quick. The one thing though about an avocado is that it does turn brown. So say you want to make this for a party, you want to take the pit that I just threw away in the compost bin, and you want to put it in the guacamole until you're ready to serve it, and kind of take the guacamole and wrap it around the pit, and that will stop it from browning. So now I'm putting the juice of a half of a lemon, and then I'm going to use half of a tomato, and this is a tomato from my garden. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's such a difference, especially tomatoes, between store-bought tomatoes and farmer's market or homegrown tomatoes. The flavor is just amazing. And again, using seasonal ingredients is what my show's going to be all about, because that's really the best way. You're getting the most vitamins and minerals also. So you put that right in. And then I'm going to take a handful of cilantro. Give it a chop. I've already taken this off of the stems for preparation for the show, but it does come stemmed. And then I'm just going to give it a little chop. At this point, it's easier than using my scissors. Put that in. That's all there's to it. It's real easy. You just want to mix this. Some people like to put sour cream in it. You can do that. Some people like to put red pepper in it, but my family likes it just with tomatoes, lime, and cilantro. So that's going to go on the side with the enchilada. We will be right back.
Want to host or produce your own show? Knox Ivy is the solution. Email info@knoxivy.com for more information.
Buy local. Buy fresh at the Dixie Lee Farmers Market at Renaissance Farragut. Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to noon for locally grown produce, cheeses, herbs, potted plants, baked goods, pottery, handmade crafts, and more. This is our third season, and the Dixie Lee Farmers Market is still making it easier for you to buy fresh locally grown produce and fresh local goods, all offered from Tennessee farmers and artisans. The Dixie Lee Farmers Market, 12740 Kingston Pike at Renaissance Farragut.
Want your business to be seen by thousands daily? Knox Ivy is the solution. Email info@knoxivy.com for more information.
How are you using social media to connect people to your business?
More than 1.6 million people are actively engaged on Facebook right now.
What are your regular clients saying about you?
Generation Y now outnumbers the baby boomers, and 96% of them are using social networking sites.
Could these be your potential clients? Since 2000, there has been a 130% jump in the number of Americans who use the internet.
Local results are integral to all major search engines.
And advertising online means you're right next to your point of sale.
Knox Ivy offers local businesses a cost-effective way to advertise.
We can help integrate your advertising with social media
and optimize your exposure. Knox Ivy, new answers for new media.
Thank you to MetroPulse readers everywhere for voting Knox Ivy the best new business for 2010. We love our role as an active partner in telling the world about the people, ideas, and activities that shape East Tennessee. Cheers!
And there it is. It's still steaming, so even sitting for 15 minutes has not caused any problem. With a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of guacamole, and some salsa. This is a nice meal I'm sure your family's gonna love. I really encourage you to try this. I can tell you that several people have tried it over the past year because as I said, I won in the cooking show, and everyone that's tried it is always real happy that they did, that it tastes really good. All the flavors, the lime juice, the cilantro, the salsa, the chipotle, the taco seasoning, the chicken, the beans. It's really good and so easy to make, as you saw. Our next show is going to be going to the farmer's market, and then I'm going to make a dish based on what I get at the farmer's market, so I look forward to that. And please send me your comments and recipes or suggestions. I'm looking for different places to go around the Knoxville area. MarysKitchenGarden.com. You can find me on Facebook at Mary Gushin, and also remember that the shows will be archived, and that way you can look at them anytime you want. So I'll have the recipes on board. I look forward to seeing you again, and have a great day.
Hear ye, hear ye! The Dixie Leaf Farmers Market is now open for business.
Hi, I'm Mary Gushin, and I want to welcome you to Mary's Kitchen and Garden Show. Today I'm at the Dixie Leaf Farmers Market, located in Farragut, Tennessee, just west of Campbell Station and Kingston Pike. I've got with me the founders of the market, Jeff and Ginger Cannon, and we're going to talk to them for a few minutes so that they can tell you why to come to the farmers market. Jeff, what do you see as far as the different varieties and quality? You know, what sets you apart from the grocery store?
Well, available here at the market, we have all locally grown produce sold directly from the person who grew it. And so that allows you can get a fair price, a comparable grocery store price, and give it directly to a farmer who really needs it.
Right, so there's no preservatives, no additives. Basically, from what I've seen, everything is picked the day before and brought in.
Everything's fresh a day before, day of, and it comes within 50 miles.
Right,
of this market.
And what I find too is that you even have a tendency not to use as much because not having those preservatives, everything is so sweet, the fruit, as far as like the blackberries and the blueberries, that just a few give you the satisfaction where a store-bought you might have to eat, a cup or two.
Sure. And then, no reason to add additional refined sugars or anything like that. Full flavor and yeah.
Exactly, and that's what my show's all about, is fresh ingredients, seasonal. I've already bought some beans today, some blackberries, some Swiss chard, and some lettuce, and I'm going to go home and make a salad for the show. And then we'll do something with those blackberries too. Also, I noticed that you've got some other types of vendors here, some artisan vendors. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yes, we also have vendors that carry baked goods, breads, pastries, stuff like that. We have cheese, we have local honey, we have fresh eggs, and then also salsas and gourmet chicken salad and stuff along those lines.
And grass-fed beef that I would be buying today, but unfortunately they had a problem with the hay, so we just have to work with that. That's how it goes when you're a farmer.
That's how it works in the farming business.
We even have fresh organic dog treats.
That's right. They've got everything here, from the baked goods to the cheese to the meat to all the veggies to the fruit, and they've got something for your dog also.
And ornamentals for flowers for your yard and landscape material.
And you've got an urban gardener here that actually gardens throughout the winter that I plan on featuring on my show this winter.
Yes, he does. He does hydroponic systems.
Exactly. Well, I really want to thank you, Jeff and Ginger, for allowing me to come and film here. I really look forward to our continued relationship and have you on my show. And is there anything else that you would like to add?
We even have a potter that specializes in baking dishes that are just extraordinary, that are all dishwasher, microwave, and they're specifically for food. Almost all their pottery is specifically for food.
Berry bowls, casserole dishes, and stuff like that.
And that's the Stony Clay Station, which is west of here off of... On 11, and I actually spoke to her, and I think I'm going to use her bakeware in my show.
Right. So, Melissa.
Yep.
Anything else?
I think that.
Well, thanks again, Jeff and Ginger, and we're going to head to my house now and look at my garden, and then we're going to take the fresh produce and the fruit and have it for our next meal on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary.
Buy local. Buy fresh at the Dixie Lee Farmers Market at Renaissance Farragut. Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to noon for locally grown produce, cheeses, herbs, potted plants, baked goods, pottery, handmade crafts, and more. This is our third season, and the Dixie Lee Farmers Market is still making it easier for you to buy fresh locally grown produce and fresh local goods, all offered from Tennessee farmers and artisans. The Dixie Lee Farmers Market, 12740 Kingston Pike at Renaissance Farragut.
Hi, I'm Mary Gushin, and I'd like to welcome you to my new show, Mary's Kitchen and Garden. This show is all about healthy eating, which means using ingredients from your garden and market that are fresh and in season. The recipes that I'll show you are easy to make and not too expensive. Everyone is on a budget, and I want to show you how to cook without using preservatives. Healthy, flavorful meals that you and your family will love. And remember, this is your show. Email me with your suggestions about cooking and gardening for the show, plus recipes that you would like me to try. Join me for Mary's Kitchen and Garden, only on KnoxIvy.com.
Want to host or produce your own show? Knox Ivy is the solution. Email info@knoxivy.com for more information.
Spending a few minutes of your day preparing a meal for your family is really simple. I'm Jeffrey DeAlejandro, partner of the Crown and Goose in the Old City. I want to reach out to local folks and teach them how to cook a deliciously simple meal, how to choose good local products, and where to find them. Let's bring simplicity back into the kitchen. Join me every Friday at 3 for Marble City Eats, only on KnoxIvy.com.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Mary Gushin with Mary's Kitchen and Garden Show on KnoxIvy.com. We've just come back from the farmers market at Dixie Lee, west of Campbell Station on Kingston Pike, and it's a great market, as you saw when Jeff and Ginger were talking about it. What we're going to make is a baked zucchini parmesan, and what I've done, instead of using Parmesan cheese, I'm going to use the Gouda cheese that I just bought from the market at one of the vendors, and then we're also going to make a green salad. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to cut the zucchini into 1/4-inch circles, and this recipe calls for about 1.5 pounds of zucchini. So this zucchini is pretty big, as you can see, so I'm going to use about half of it. The recipe calls to brown the zucchini, and so the first thing you need to do is coat it with a mixture of flour, oregano, and pepper. Now the oregano it called for is dry oregano, but I actually have oregano growing in the garden, so I'm using fresh oregano, which I've chopped up fine for the recipe. Now what we're going to do is put the zucchini into a medium-high heat using vegetable oil. You want to use like a safflower or soybean oil because that oil doesn't burn, where if you used olive oil, it would burn because it's a high heat. As you can see, the zucchini is bubbling, which is just what you want. And it'll take a couple of minutes for it to brown. Put a little bit more flour on here. You can hear that sizzle too. That's what you want. Just want to check it every couple of minutes to see. See, it's still not brown yet. It's still working on it. Kind of move the oil around. I'm using a non-stick saute pan, and that way you don't need to use as much oil, and it also doesn't stick. And then once we get that done, we're going to put them on paper towels so that the oil can be absorbed, and then we'll do the next batch. Okay. Now we're starting to get done, as you can see. You don't want to get them real brown, just a little bit. Then you want to add a little bit of oil because it's starting to dry up. Just kind of move it around, get all those brown bits. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the next group. And we're going to pull these out. It's almost like a deep frying. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to arrange the zucchini slices in a baking dish. And you want to use the tongs because they are hot. You don't want to pick them up because you might get burned. Just taking the paper towels off. As you can see, we want to get all that grease off because we want this to be a low-cal dish as far as not having lots of calories from the oil, and getting rid of all of the oil is going to help that. And that way too you taste the zucchini versus tasting something that was fried. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut 2 tomatoes. These are actually from my garden. We have a topsy-turvy that is already producing tomatoes. You want to thinly slice the tomatoes. Oh, the color is so beautiful, and you can even smell them because they're so fresh and just picked from the garden. And as you can see, I just have a regular knife. I don't have a lot of special chef types of utensils because I'm not a chef. I'm just an everyday cook, but I love to cook and want to share these recipes with you. So now you just take the tomatoes and put them over the top. It's like each little zucchini will have its own tomato. I'll give it a little bit more there. And now we're going to make the topping. The topping has sour cream, salt and pepper, and oregano. And again, I'm using my fresh oregano instead of using a dried oregano since I have it. So it's 1 cup sour cream. Salt and pepper and oregano. And it calls for about 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, but I like a little bit extra pepper, so I'm going to turn this a couple extra times. Now the salt, it calls for a teaspoon of salt, but I'm not going to put as much salt in because the natural cheese that I got from the farmer's market has a lot of salt in it, so I don't want it to be too salty. And plus, my family doesn't eat a lot of salt because we want to stay nice and low salt because my husband has high blood pressure. So I try all the time to use garlic instead of salt, and to also just use a minimal amount of salt. What I like to do is cut the herbs. To me, this is a lot easier. I just put them all in my hand. Obviously, you want to be careful with your fingertips, but I think this is so much easier than chopping them. So that's what I'm doing here. And oh, it smells so good. Oregano has a really nice scent to it. And we just want to whisk it. Which takes just a second. And then we are going to spread this over the tomatoes and zucchinis. So I'm just going to dollop it on. You can really smell the oregano that is in the sour cream. And there's also, remember, oregano in the breading, the flour. So I think it's going to have a really nice flavor. And you just want to gently spread it around. Whoop, be careful because you don't want to pull up the tomatoes. If they come up, just put them right back. All right, let me take this. Spatula wants to pick it up a little bit. Clean fingers work just as well. And now I'm going to cut the cheese. I'm not going to grate it because it's only aged 60 days is what the vendor told me. And so I don't want to grate it because she said it needs to be 90 days to grade. And this way, for sure, we're not going to have a problem. This is a Gouda cheese that I bought from Locust Grove Farm at the farmer's market. And we tasted it. It was just wonderful. So I'm just going to cut it thin. This would be great in a grilled cheese sandwich, on a cheese plate. All sorts of different types you could use this cheese. You can see how nicely it is slicing. And you want to use about a half a cup. So now I'm just going to chop it, just to break it up so it'll be nice and melted on the top of the zucchini. And then you just want to take it, sprinkle it all over. And we're going to pop it in the oven for about 35 minutes until it's golden brown. Now we're going to put it in the oven at 350. And we're going to set the timer for 30 minutes. Actually, I'm going to use my microwave. All right, when we come back, we're going to make a green salad to go along with the zucchini parmesan, and then we're going to try it. So I'll see you in a minute.
So Jen, what do we want to tell people about our new show, The Lifeline Show, and why they need to watch it?
It's all about getting what you want out of your life. Life coaching is all about strategy. It's about getting where you want to go.
Life coaching is a really neat process. It's quite a bit different than counseling.
It's about starting where you are now and getting where you want to go.
And that's what we do in life coaching, and really anybody can do it. Anybody can get results that wants to.
Absolutely. It's about putting time into your life. Putting time, getting the results you want out of your life.
And our show's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to talk a lot about our own stuff, but we're going to also interact with you. And we're going to a lot of different ways you can be on our show and talk with us.
We'll take your calls, we'll take your emails, we'll take you however you want to communicate with us.
And we expect that all of you will get some kind of really great benefit from watching the show.
The more you put in, the more you'll get out.
So join us on the Lifeline Show.
We're awakening hearts and empowering lives.
Buy local. Buy fresh at the Dixie Lee Farmers Market at Renaissance Farragut. Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to noon for locally grown produce, cheese,